How's it going, everyone? Should hopefully be live. Let me know um if you can hear me fine. Looks like everything's working properly. Feel free. Just hanging out today. Not too much. I got a couple consignments. One consignment I'm gonna show a little bit of stuff to cover, but we've got 2 hours to do it, and I've probably only got 10 or 15 minutes worth of stuff to do. So appreciate that. Colt letting me know the audio and video is good. And big question right off the bat. I don't have my camera locked. So, Peek That Chew asks, how do you block your schedule for each day? Are you a stickler for dedicating X amount of hours to certain tasks, or just a full list you get done when you have time? Would love some detail. So, I used to be a big user of sticky notes. I can't show you the sticky notes I use because it's actually like a family picture. My wife got me a stack of sticky notes. It's like a family picture. I guess I can show you these though. I have hundreds of these from years ago, breaking down collector chest tins. So I used to just do everything manual, analog, I guess. I'd have sticky notes everywhere, what I needed to do for the day, the week, the month, whatever. I use a combination between Google Calendar and I also use the sticky notes like app on computer. So yeah, it's a mixed combination of things like that. As far as general things, I recently switched to shipping every day. So kind of like the routine for starting my day is just going on eBay, printing out all my pack slips, printing out all my shipping labels, and doing that. Most days it's under an hour throughout the week, like from a Tuesday to a Wednesday. This morning I think it was 10 shipments. That only took me like 20 minutes. Do my post office run, check the PO box, all that. Um, and other than that, a consignment just landed. So like this is my priority one for tomorrow. I do have this live stream today. I have PokeFlips live stream tomorrow, but probably a couple hour chunk will be getting those photographed tomorrow. Friday it'll be getting them listed. Those are the kinds of things that are sporadic, not really. I know when they're coming, but not like with a ton of notice. Sometimes it's just a day or two and then they're on inbound. But yeah, managing my Troll and Toad Evo, getting new listings of my own up on eBay, organizing things, going through my backlog, my mystery boxes. Those all vary a lot. Someday, hopefully within the next few months, realistically, maybe a year from now, I will have everything fully organized. Everything will be fully, I will have no backlog. When that magical day theoretically comes, I might have a more rigid schedule. It would still be flexible. It would still vary if and when like a big consignment came in, if and when a big uh some big thing came up. A set release. Medizu Seance is coming out in a couple weeks. That whole week, I'm gonna be busting boxes and making listings for the singles and getting Troll and Toad Evo shipments ready. So yeah, it's some of them are done with Google Calendar day by day. Some of them are done with sticky notes and very scattered process. Um, Not too much, Bondo. How's it going? I'm just hanging out. It's been a hectic couple weeks. We've got a lot of it's that time of year, colds, flus, things like that. My family, my son's been out of school for like the past several days. Uh my daughter's got something. My sister, my wife today took off work. It's hopefully I'm good to go for Denver. Hopefully the wife is healthy and good to go for Denver as well. But yeah, a lot of sickness going around, unfortunately. Thoughts on the new promo with Pikachu and the new starters? I did see that promo. It didn't like stick with me. I can't honestly recall what it looks like. I guess I can probably get it. Do you have a promo number for me that I can pull it up? I do remember when I first saw it, it immediately made me think of Sword Shield 20. Let me pull up Sword Shield 20 for anyone who doesn't know. I really like that promo a lot. Um, Let me just open this in its own tab, see if this shows somewhere. So yeah, there's Sword Shield 20. I'm a big fan of that card. I remember when I saw the new one, it gave me those vibes. I don't remember off the top of my head what it looks like, but it had those vibes, so I was a fan. And it's got my boy Quaxley, so always happy to have a Quaxley card. Retro asks, Lance was a badass in Crystal. Why did they do him so dirty with that Lance's Charizard V promo? Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. I like this. I like this here. But let's pull up Lance's Charizard V for anyone who's unfamiliar. The Celebrations collection box promo. See if I can find an image of just that. But it's not like I've said this before. I feel like I'm pretty easy to please. Like I don't think it's terrible, but it could be better, I guess. I've got it covering my face. I gotta lean over here. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I like the Dragonite I got up here. This is it is what it is. Not my favorite, not my least favorite. Big Dachu, yeah. I've got the new, so Cam and Nick and other people have been complaining a lot about the new eBay listing format. The new, what do they call it? The listing tool. I've been converted over and it's not terrible, but Cam did say that they've improved it quite a bit since he was first forced over to the new style. So thankfully, I'm not getting like the absolute worst experience with it, but it is like it's new. I'm slower with it because I'm not familiar with it yet. Will someday I be able to do it as quickly as I could the old one? I don't know, but I hope so. I hope they keep refining it as they go and come up with something good. I forgot to have my lights on. Let me go plug my lights in quick. I guess while I'm going to plug my lights in, because I still don't have, you can still see this hanging. I still haven't done the longer shelves. I'm going to have it hardwired up into the ceiling where you don't see it anywhere. But for now, let me go to the other camera. Let me turn on this video. So what this video is, I'm going to send 3 batches of cards. This first batch of cards is going to Echo Base Collectibles. Shout out Echo Base Collectibles. I haven't shipped them out yet, but I do have the boxes ready. I'm going to do some Whatnot consignments with Echo Base Collectibles, Old Skool Pokemon, and Vandy Flips Pokemon. That first stack that I showed you, a few of those I'm going to do as giveaways during the stream. The Evolutions and Cosmic Eclipse packs are going to be giveaways. And then all these cards, these were rejected by Troll and Toad. These are picked up over like the 8 years I've been in the hobby. Collection buys, different things. You'll see all eras, some Japanese, some English, all over the place. But they're cards that I can't really justify selling myself on eBay. I can't send to Troll and Toad and sell through Evo. So these ones I'm just going to be consigning with those 3. See how it goes. I have a decent amount more. I have a decent amount more that I can feed them with if it goes well. But most of these cards are like damaged, heavy play, moderate play. They'd be decent binder cards, some of them. Some people, they'd be way too poor of condition for in general. But yeah, let me go get my lights plugged in so we can have those. I also completely forgot to have the room lights off because they I forgot to have the room lights off because then they cast shadows with the shelves and all that. So please don't tell me you have your bookmark toolbar hidden on your browser all the time. I don't really use bookmarks a ton. I have like a handful of websites that I go to regularly. I guess I do, but I have like a million bookmarks. I have folders of bookmarks. I really need to go through and declutter. I'm one of those people that like fills up my whole desktop with files that I'm using. And then when it gets full, I create a folder called desktop files and I just dump them all in there. Desktop files 1, desktop files 2, desktop files 3. And then the ones as I need them, I pull them back out and put them on the desktop. Most of them I don't need though. So you just saw a changeover now. This should be the batch that's going to Old Skool Pokemon, I believe. Let me double check because that one had an Ancient Mew in it. You'll see though, like overall, yeah. So Old Skool Pokemon does have the Ancient Mew one. This is the batch going to him. I posted these as like unlisted videos so that each of the three people could see what was coming to them. Decent cards though, you'll see. I mean, a lot of them, some of these black and white era hollows damaged are like very very little to nothing. But there are like Watsy, I mean a Charizard. You'll see not the Charizard GXs, but you'll see like there was a base Charizard somewhere. There was a Rockets Charizard first edition, I believe, Dark Charizard. Maybe the non-hollow was first edition, and the hollow was unlimited. But yeah, right here you see a first edition hollow Dark Charizard. It's damaged, but it's still first edition. There's a Shadowless Venusaur. You've got a decent bit of stuff there. Stuff that I've just accumulated over the years, zero cost basis. I figure I can pay them a good hourly rate to sell it. It's no risk to them because like if it performs poorly on whatnot auctions because it's damaged or whatever, no sweat off their back. They're going to make their hourly wage. I need to negotiate with each of them individually if I'm going to guarantee them some certain amount. Basically, it's a little over 100 items. So for me personally, I know it's about to list them on eBay and to get them sold and fulfilled and all that. It's about 5 minutes an item, so 12 an hour. We'll see what we end. I think Whatnot's a bit faster because obviously you just show 30 seconds, you do the auction, you show the item quick while it's being auctioned. What exactly it works out to, what it'll cost me. I mean, I think I'll do better than if I just lotted these cards and threw them in a single eBay auction. Almost certainly. But yeah, I think it's a fun little experiment, and we'll see how it goes. If and when that happens, I've got a bit more I can throw to them. And then as this, because this is an incoming stream continually, I purchase collections and there's some supplemental stuff that I can't really sell directly. So let's see. David talking about Peak Dat Chew's last video. Yeah, check out Peak Dat Chew. He's got a really cool YouTube channel. He did a series that I was one of the many collectors and people in the hobby featured in pairs. So he's got a great series over there on his channel, and then he's done a couple more recent like live stream videos opening things. But yeah, I think this is the lot that's for Vandy Flips Pokemon. This is the last one. So once this is done, I'll go back to the full camera. Because this was one on my to-do list that I wanted to get shown. So yeah, there's the full playthrough. We'll go back full screen. I still need to get my lighting figured out because you can see a couple shadows here and there, but this is better than when my room lights are on. I've got all the lights. I've got all the lights I need. It's just a matter of getting them done properly. And I noticed now that I plugged in my shelf lights, but they didn't turn on. So there we go. We got them turned on now. Nice purple for Gengar. Thanks for stopping in, DPD19. Just hanging out today. If anyone's got any questions in chat, we'll do kind of a Q&A, and I'll just periodically work in, like I did those videos. I'll periodically work in some of the stuff that I've got to show off. We are getting close. I think we're a little over a week now from the day of reckoning with Troll and Toad Evo. I think I put that in my title. I've had a lot of people send spreadsheets to me, and I think Troll and Toad, it's not, I mean, some people are getting offended by the offers that Troll and Toad is making them on their inventory. To me, it's not unreasonable at all. I mean, I've heard of people getting offered 25%, but some of it is like really, really bulky stuff. If you're being offered 25%, I mean, Troll and Toad charges a 50% fee on the really cheap stuff. So if you sell it, you're only getting 50% to begin with, and they're paying you cash up front. They're taking the risk, all that stuff. And at the end of the day, like, you don't have to take their offer either. I'm paying significantly higher, but I'm being picky to an extent. So Troll and Toad starting about a week or two from now, we'll have a new floor price. So as of today, I can price my items all the way down to 20 cents. I pay a 50% fee on selling a 20-cent item. So I get 10 cents net. Starting in a week or two, it'll be that I cannot price below 69 cents. And the fee between 69 cents and $1 will be 50%. So I'm not buying from anybody any cards that are worth less than $1. It's just not worth. I would have to offer you similar to them. I would have to offer you 25%, and I don't even want to. Like, I don't want to offend you. I don't want to take those cards. That's just not the inventory I want or need. So what I've been doing generally, like I've successfully closed a few deals. I've taken over a few shipments, a few inventories. I'm paying on everything north of $10, I'm paying 60%. Not 60% of a made up number, not 60% of some astronomical, unreasonable number. So I do need to go through and I need to either do like, you can quickly do a minimum function, minimum of the low list price or the market price or Troll and Toad's price, whatever it may be. So minimum of all those, I pay 60% of that. So if there's a base Charizard listed for $1,000 and Troll and Toad is sold out, but they usually sell it for 500, I'm going to pay 60% of the 500, because the thinking behind that is I pay about, it depends on the exact number. It depends on where exactly it falls, but I pay roughly 15% plus 30 cents. So I'm, say, rounded up to 20%. That tier is actually going up starting in a couple weeks. It's going to be something like 18%, I think. So paying 60%, I'm going to be able to sell it and get 80%. So I'm going to be able to get like 20% extra on top of that. You would have only gotten 80% to begin with had you sold it. So you're missing out on a little bit, and you're not having to take it back. You're not having to pay shipping and get it back to you. Some people I've dealt with are international. So like the logistics of getting their inventories back internationally would be really miserable. So yeah, it's a mutually beneficial thing in certain circumstances, and if you think it will be for you, reach out, download your CSV, send it to me, and we can go from there. So there's my little Troll and Toad excerpt for anyone who's an Evo seller. Let me make sure I haven't missed any other questions. We don't have a ton of chat, so let me stay caught up and make sure I didn't miss anything. Mr. Walrus said I was late. I think I started right at 2:30, but it could have been 2:31. Pokey Martin says, I'm excited for the PokeRev Deoxys opening. There's never been a live box break. That is crazy. I think that's next week, I heard. Or is that like tomorrow? That is crazy. He's probably charged. I think Skyridge he did recently as well. He's going big. What did he do? 1,500 a pack for that? Deoxys, I'm interested. Is he doing 1,500 a pack as well? Or is it slightly more, slightly less? Yeah, that's a big box. I opened one personally years ago. I opened one of every box, every set except for English base set first edition. I want to say I paid, it was not the most expensive box I opened. I think the most expensive box crown goes to Neo Destiny first edition, and I want to say I paid about 2,300 bucks for it. EX Deoxys, I think I paid 700 to 800 for that when I opened it back in 2016 or so. At some point, I'm going to do a video. It might be sometime this month, because this is actually, might as well shout out Pokenomics Patreon. I might do a presentation later this month for our monthly Zoom meeting on historical box prices. Unfortunately, like Pokedata is a great source. There's all these Pokemon Price. There's all these great sources for graded cards, but boxes are tougher to get at. So I think doing a combination of what I bought my boxes for, and then browsing through forums, using Terapeak, these different websites, I'll be able to put together as good of a picture as I can for a few different times, few different time frames, few different data points. But yeah, that's exciting. Live Deoxys break. It'll be awesome if somebody hits one of the gold stars, but I didn't hit a gold star in my Deoxys box when I opened it. Thoughts on eBay offering a store credit option for half of the selling fees, 5%. I'm not sure what that is. I haven't heard about that. eBay store credit. Thoughts on eBay offering a store credit option? I Googled it quickly and I don't see anything about it. I don't know if that's something upcoming or if that's something that you think would be cool proposing it. But yeah, clarify if you're still here, Pokey Martin, and I can, I guess I can elaborate once I know more what you're talking about. David Asplund, I want to send my cards to PSA for the first time. Previously, I've sent my cards to someone to take care of it for me. Can you recommend a video to watch for how to submit? I think... So I don't think I've ever made a video on this. I used middlemen heavily prior. I am doing my own submissions now. So maybe in the coming months, I will make a video on that myself, just so I have one too. But James, I think ZNG Emporium, he delisted a lot of his older videos. He might have had a video. The first people that I'd refer you to would be like James, Rusty, Nick, and that's ZNG Emporium, TCA Gaming, Old Skool Pokemon. I would check their channels to see if they have them. If they don't, I'm sure probably with sports cards, probably with more general like non-Pokemon cards, but it would be the same process. I would just search how to submit to PSA. PSA might even have their own video on it. One of the big things though that like James would tell you, and James has told me, there's a method to what you want to enter first. Like you don't want to type, I think you want to type, I forget if it's, so, and someone can probably let me know in comments. I forget if you want to type, I think the set number, certain Japanese, certain obscure things, it's harder because they don't have one. But like here I have in front of me, let me pull it up on the other screen. So here I have like a Mew reverse holo from Expedition. I will show the consignment card soon. It's a full reverse holo Expedition set. So this card, I would type 55 Mew reverse, and then it should populate really quickly. PSA's submission system isn't horrible. It's relatively fine. As long as you type the things in the right order, it will usually pop up. So 55 Mew reverse, I think this would pop up, or 55 Mew Expedition. Once you play around with it a little bit, I think you'll figure it out. It's fairly daunting to do it for the first time, and it seems intimidating, but watch a couple of videos and I think you'll get it sorted fine. Yeah, appreciate you hanging out in that live stream. Wilt won some of the MetaZoo giveaway stuff. I also saw DeGreen Shiz posted a video on his giveaway wins. I had my earbud in, and I don't have music going. I don't have anything going, so I don't know why I had my earbud in. How would you recommend selling large collections, i.e. pack collections, pack art from every era, or a sequential Scream Pikachu PSA 10 set? How would you sell it? So I never sell anything as a set. I think a lot of times we have a lot of emotions tied up in sets. We put them together. It was our goal. We put the time and the effort in, and we think that should lead to value. That does not lead to value. So when you lot two things together, like right now I have in front of me, I literally have a full reverse holo Expedition set. 1 to 160, whatever it is. Or I think the last few are missing, but we'll look at it in a little bit. The consigner, the person who sent these to me, he spent a lot of time putting all this together, assembling it. I think a lot of them are consecutive certs too. Nobody really cares though. Like the thing is, I think he graded these all together. Yeah, they look like sequential certs, but there's 10s, there's 8s, there's 6s, there's 7s, there's 9s. If I try to sell all these together for some kind of a premium, you narrow down your buyer pool with every card you add. One, because some people don't have the money to buy all the cards at once. So like if you're trying to sell your entire pack collection, some people that want all of them don't have all the money to buy them at once. And most of the people that want a complete pack art collection already have a large part of that collection done. So they're not going to pay a premium to get duplicates of all of them. So even though it feels bad to tear up a collection, to part out a collection that you spent so long putting together, that's the way you're going to get the most money 99% of the time. I honestly, no example comes to my mind where I think you would get a premium for selling things together. It's just not a thing. Nobody's going to pay you a premium for putting things together. The bigger the lot you make and the more diverse the lot is, the more likely you're going to have someone like me bidding on it and trying to buy it for like 50% of value to just relist it individually as you should have and then sell it. That's a large part of my business, is going to Golden, Heritage, PWCC, buying these ill-advised lots and then just splitting them up and making 20, 30, 40%. Hips and Ships asks, have you seen the reserve list reprint for MTG 30th anniversary? I'm not the biggest fan. Yeah, so for anyone unfamiliar, I watched, I don't think Rudy's made a video on it yet, but I watched Daniel's video. What's his, I can't even think. Anybody in the Magic space would know who Daniel is, probably Vintage Magic, maybe is his name. I watched his video and a couple others. Basically for, I think it's 4 packs. I don't know how many cards per pack. $1,000. Magic is coming out with an ultra premium product Yeah, right here. Pokemartin says it's 999. Thought it was going to be close to 2K. You're never going to be able to get box rush packs anywhere on the internet. So it's like a reprint, but it's slightly different. You can get new frame beta cards, like limited edition beta cards, new frames reimagined with like the modern style, or you can get the vintage frame. I think on the vintage one, they definitely have a different back, but I think they also have a slightly different front. Like I don't think there will be concern for these being rebacked onto old beta backs or anything like that. I think they changed up the front, but you can pull a Black Lotus. You can pull a black bordered Black Lotus, and it's crazy. It's not surprising. Someday Pokemon will get there. Magic is doing serialized. Magic is doing $1,000 4-pack ultra premium like reprints. I could see a day where Pokemon does, like, I was almost surprised it wasn't serialized. Maybe we'll get that at the 50th anniversary. Why not have a serialized 1 of 100 Black Lotus? It'll be disgusting if and when it happens, because those will probably sell for more than beta Black Lotuses if they were numbered 1 to 100. I don't know how many they're going to produce of this. I don't know how many of these new old format black border Lotuses there will be, but it's going to be an expensive card. It's probably going to hurt a lot of people's feelings because it's probably going to go for as much, if not more, than like an unlimited original Black Lotus. It's really interesting to see, but yeah, you can pull like black bordered power. I might buy some. I might FOMO into it because it just seems crazy. It's probably going to be botted like everything is these days, but I'm not gonna, like, if I can't get in at the 1,000, there's no way I'm paying more than 1,000. But if I can get some for the retail, I might. It's interesting. It's interesting, and I think we'll get there. I think we'll get there in Pokemon, which is also interesting. A lot of people aren't happy, but a lot of people won't be happy when they do it with Pokemon, but it's gonna be a thing. Favorite craft beer you ever had? What bourbon are you going to buy me in Denver after the Skull Kids are adopted by their new families? So I'm not like, I have beer friends. I have friends who every time I hang out with them, every time we meet up somewhere, they've got like new cans of this or that, some local brewery. I live up near the Adirondacks in New York. Tons of breweries around me. I'm sporting a Utica Club shirt, the FX Matt Brewery. That's not like a craft brewery anymore. That's a pretty big one, but a regional one. I don't have a refined enough palate nor a good enough memory to remember the best beer I've had. One of the bigger ones that I've been on lately, Sloop Juice Bombs. So Sloop Brewery, I believe it's somewhere in the Northeast. It somewhere in New York, I think. So Sloop Brewing makes what they call a juice bomb, and they make is it just a double juice bomb? I forget what the other one's called, Juicier Bomb or something. But Sloop Juice Bombs are my like latest. That's like the latest and greatest for right now. But as far as this brewery, I love their Legacy IPA, their Adirondack Lager. Other ones, I've gone to breweries, I've done tastings. I just don't have a good enough memory. Nor I can drink a beer and I'll say it's good. I don't remember one versus the other though, especially if they're weeks or months apart. I don't drink like a lot. When I drink, but like I don't drink nightly. I don't drink weekly even. I'm gonna be drinking in Denver. I'll probably hit my quota for the quarter in Denver. So yeah. Would you do a live box break or live lawn mow first? So my Wi-Fi router isn't strong enough, and or my lawn is too big. So I definitely can never do a live lawn stream unless I have it just pointed out my front window and you just see me out front going back or out back, either way, going up and down, up and down, up and down. Probably that's not going to happen. Definitely a couple weeks from now when MetaZoo Seance releases, I will have a live MetaZoo Seance box break, as I did with UFO, as I will do with every release going forward. So the live box break is going to happen first. Sorry, Mr. Walrus, that's probably not the one you wanted, but that's what it's going to be. So yeah, Pokemon Classics recently made a really good tax video. Not tax advice, but just some general conversation around it. And apparently the top comment was saying, don't pay taxes, they can't get all of us. That is not tax advice. that is not financial advice. That's not me saying that. That's someone in the comments on Classics video. But yeah, shout out Classics, Pokemon Classics. He makes some great videos. Pokemon asked a hypothetical question. So, what was the question again? Oh yeah, something about where to go. eBay offering a store credit option for half the selling fee. It would be interesting. It would be interesting. They have a lot of features that I've slowly been getting involved in more as far as sending offers, sending coupons. If they had a way that I could give people store credit or people could earn store credit when they purchase from me, it would be interesting. Pokemon Classics gave us tax advice the other day. Is it your turn next following on your financial advice? So yeah, that was my if anyone didn't see it Monday, I made a video where I actually give you financial advice. And I stand by, and I always will, timeless. I will always stand by the financial advice given in that video. Talked about some of my long-term plans and goals personally. They don't need to apply to you, but like the fundamental concepts were there. I don't think I'll ever do one touching on taxes. Maybe I will slightly. It would just be an informational only video, as was Classics. I don't think in any way, I guess, yeah, there is one way I could make a tax video and call it tax advice. It would be a really short one. Maybe I'll make a short. This is official tax advice. Pay your taxes. There. End short, 5-second video. I'll need to clip that and get that posted as a short for my tax advice video. Tax advice, pay your taxes. eBay changes your money you get from sales to store credit basically, but you have to opt in. I'll have to look into that. Because Pokemartin was saying it was a hypothetical question, and now DPD is saying it's an actual thing. I think I know what you're talking about, but it would be cool if they offered less selling fees for more store credit. I always type in the year first, and then the set, and then the number. PSA submission list is pretty bad. So when James goes live, I think he does his on Wednesdays as well. So he might be going live. Who knows? He might be live right now. Don't leave me to go watch James, but at some point when he's live, ask James. James has manually entered by himself, G&G Emporium, over 100,000 cards, I believe he said. He has a system, he told me somewhere in like Discord. Let me see if I can just search it quick. I probably won't have any chance to search it quick and pull it up. Let me see if I can find it quick though. From ZNG. Yeah, there's probably no chance I'll end up finding it. But yeah, I want to say it's set number first and then the species name. Yeah, but it is weird. Like theoretically, the way when you search, the more information you give it, the more refined it should get. Like if you type 4 Charizard base, you should get less with each search, but you get like more, and then you get like Mickey Mantle, you get like Hank Aaron, you get random sports guys when you're searching nothing of the sort. Like it makes no sense sometimes. Vandy. So if you look back later, I actually showed the quick clip that I sent you in an unlisted video. I showed the 3 lots that I'm sending to you, to Echo, and to Nick to be auctioned on whatnot. But yeah, Vandy Flips Pokemon is one of the 3 that I mentioned earlier. Keep skipping to the bottom. That's interesting. I'll have to look at that. Every time I look at pending payouts on mobile, it suggests I try to change that payment method as store credit. And then let me just pull up mine quick. I'm not gonna show it on screen, but maybe I can if I find where it's doing it properly. But I don't want to show my whole dashboard. So my last payout went to my bank account. Payout preferences. Let me manage my payout method. Making me sign in, which is good. I see bank account. I see PayPal. I don't see any way. I don't see anywhere for me on PC to opt for credit. I just see my bank account is the default and it's the only, and I don't see where to add a new one. Interesting though. See, I completely disagree, Pokemon. The big three, I'm assuming you're talking about Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, PSA 10, base unlimited. So I don't know off the top of my head what Venusaur and Blastoise go for. I know Charizard is around 10K, but to me, like I'm not buying any of those cards individually nor together. But Charizard has its own collectors. Many people collect Charizard and not Venusaur or Blastoise. So when you put the three together, you lose all your Charizard only collectors. Also, you lose all your Blastoise only, and you lose all your Venusaur only collectors. So you work down. There's these three individual buyers you could have. These three individual pools. Now you need just the intersect. I guess I should go the other way. It's like a funnel almost. So at the top, you have Charizard collectors, you have Blastoise collectors, and you have Venusaur collectors. But now you've forced them down into this funnel. You need people who collect all three. And then not only that, you need people who collect all three who don't have any of the three. So say I want all three. I have a Charizard. Some people never sell. A large portion of people are afraid of selling and or never want to sell, whatever the case may be. So I might like the idea of sequential certs, but if I have the Charizard already, to get the Venusaur and the Blastoise, to spend an extra 10 grand and then to sell my Charizard for 10 grand, you lose 20% in fees depending on how you sell it. That's I completely disagree because you lower your buyer pool so much. And me personally, I don't care about the cert number whatsoever. It blows my mind that some people do. The cert number is basically just so that you can search in their database and you can have that related back to whatever. I don't get why people care what the cert number is and that some of them are in a row. Like, I collect the cards. I don't collect the labels nor what's printed on the labels. I collect the cards. So I know I'm a bit weird in that I don't value tens. A lot of people do way more than I do. But yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Agree to disagree, I guess. How's it going, Metazul? CGC's not, yeah. Neither CGC or PSA is that bad to submit to, but they both should be a lot better, I think. Pixlr 420, I'm assuming you're talking about the Magic 30th. It hurts my feelings, but I think I'm still going to buy one. I saw that sentiment in a few Discords earlier. I saw a few people saying the same exact thing. I don't like it, but I'm going to buy as many as I can, as long as the bots don't get it first. So, Wizards of the Coast knows that. So, yeah, they know they've got you. It is what it is. And then, like, something like that intrigues me. I don't do much with Magic. Very, very little of what I own. A fraction of a percent of what I own is Magic. I own the contents of the one beta booster pack that I bought. I honestly don't think... No, I do own a handful. I've bought a handful of alpha and beta CGC graded cards from PWCC. I'm not building like a whole set or anything like Rusty is, and I think Scott also is too. He talks about a binder he's making for alpha. But yeah, I've just bought a couple arts that are nostalgic to me because I remember seeing them in my cousin's collections back in the mid 90s. Oregon has some of the craziest fruit smoothie beers. I'm not big on like the really exotic stuff. So Sloop Juice Bomb, it has some citrusy stuff going on, kind of like mild citrusy flavors going on. I've had some really like I don't like shandies. It's almost like a beer mixed with a lemonade. I don't like Utica Club is made at West End Brewing that also makes Saranac beers. Saranac has a very popular, they call it Blueberry Blonde. It's like a shandy with blueberry flavoring in it. I don't do stuff like that. I don't do the really fruity stuff. IPAs are my main thing. Really, really bitter. I guess like me, I'm a bitter old man, so I like my beers bitter. I'm scared for my PSA return. It looks like PSA has really put the hammer down on the standards. I don't think so. They just vary a ton. I've seen people getting back 80% PSA 10 rates. I've seen people getting back no PSA 10s. Shout out PokeRev. He just had a recent video where he sent a bunch of cards blindly from that mass pack break that he did, celebrating 1 million subs. He got kind of wrecked, but he also mentioned that he didn't look at the cards. And when you're opening mid-era, Park Old Soul Silver, EX era, even WotC, you got a lot of white corners. You got a lot of the 25-year history of Pokemon did not have amazing print quality as they do today. Even with printing 9.1 billion cards last year, look at the PSA 10 rate of Moonbreon, 90%. Look at the print quality is really, really good on a lot of these sets. Variable though, because then some of the character rares, they have all that fraying on the end. They have like the little strings hanging off. So it's yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy out there. Do you see yourself scaling what you do? So in the pipeline, probably sometime in the next month, one of my Monday videos is actually going to be discussing scalability of business. I talked a little bit about scalability in my video on Monday for anyone that watched. I talked about passive income, financial independence, the 4% rule. Basically, you can earn money while you sleep. Go back and watch that video if you want to. But scalability is something I very much have in mind. The use of consigning services. I'm actually serving as a consigning service for people who want to send in buy nows. But Troll and Toad Evo is instrumental to where I am as a business and where I intend to go as a business. But yeah, you need to keep in mind how you're valuing your time, how you're allocating your time, how much money per hour different tasks are paying you, because you only have 2,080 hours every year to work with in a standard 40-hour work week. And if you're doing $10 an hour work, well, the math only works out to 20,000 a year at that. So do you want to make 20,000 a year? It's fine if you do. It's fine if you can make a budget work with all that. But yeah, hiring employees, and I never intend to scale that way. Scaling as a sole person through the use of services like consignment houses for certain things, and then Troll and Toad Evo is what I plan to do. And I'll discuss that more in a standalone video. Make a second Discord account and just video chat back to your original with your phone. Easy lawn mow stream. That's the issue though. When I mow my lawn, I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff. I have YouTube Premium, so I like download the video beforehand so I can listen, or I put it on 144p so that it doesn't ever lag because it's in my pocket anyways. But when I leave my Wi-Fi signal, which is for a fairly decent portion of my lawn mowing, I don't have service. I mean, I have service, but it's like 2G equivalent. It's like very, very bad. I live in the woods. I mean, I truly live more in the farmland south of the woods. The Adirondacks is the woods. I have some woods around me, but I mostly live in farmland. And although I can see a cell phone tower like down my road around the, like I can see, if I stood on my roof, I could see the top of a cell tower. My service is not great where I am. So wouldn't work, unfortunately. Equilibrium Brewing. I've had some of their beers. I've never been there. I used to do more like brewery tours and stuff. Kids happened, COVID happened simultaneously, so I haven't done a brewery tour since yeah, pre-COVID for sure. I've talked about it before, but I used to be at this brewery. I used to go there once a week. Or no, once a month. I used to go there the first or third Wednesday every month. We'd have a meeting. We'd have a meeting in the tap room at this brewery, a little club of people who collected the steins and the beer trays and the coasters, and same thing we do in Pokemon, but we used to do it in the beer stuff. Not so much like the price history. Like we were a lot less dollar crazed in that hobby. It was a lot more tame environment and not so much stonkage, and some things were very valuable and some things still are. But overall, money wasn't as much of a consideration. It was just people trading and collecting, and obviously money was there, but it wasn't fixated on as much as it is in this hobby. And I say that, but like I am one of the people who fixates on it. So I'm not saying like it's an issue, and I'm just noting the differences. This is official. Consult a CPA, pay your taxes. Water taxes. The extra store credit may be hypothetical with lesser fees, but you can convert your earnings to spend directly on eBay instead of getting it sent to your bank. That's smart on their part because it's like, yeah, here's an eBay gift card. Instead of having to give you real money, they just give you an eBay gift card, which, yeah, that's all businesses sell gift cards because some amount get like lost and forgotten about too. Like it's crazy to think about it. And you and I, no one in here will probably like forget because we want to buy Pokemon cards with it. But some amount of people will take a payout in credit. Say they get $50 paid out in credit. They'll buy some knickknack for $40 for someone's Christmas present. And then they'll like never sell on eBay again, never buy on eBay again. $10 will just be forfeited into eBay's bank account. That's why gift cards exist largely. There's some percentage that just never get redeemed, and it's great for all businesses who sell them. I would put Expedition 55. That's the fastest way. So maybe it's set that number. I need to look back into it. I don't know. Apparently it's real. I don't see it on my end. That I'm actually in a group chat with Nick and Echo, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we need to really pump this up. We need to get everyone in the group chat together and see who wins." The problem is, like, I tried to generally allocate, like, okay, I tried to equal out the values roughly, but I probably did a very bad job. Who wins is probably more determined by how I poorly divided the lots than like merit of salesmanship. Whoever wins, whoever gets the most, I'm sure will say that it was truly skill. Whoever gets last, I'm sure will say that they got boned. I gave them the worst lot by far. Obviously, that's going to be what happens, but it's funny. I did that one video with James and Nick's consignment services, auction consignment services, like a year ago now almost. And I sent them the same cards, different days, but like they netted almost the same. And then I auctioned the same cards myself. The three of us like tied essentially, very, very minimally. I think I won by a slight amount. And then the two of them were like, it was all very, very close, but that's like a year-old video on my channel. Have a little fun with it. Realistically, what is the strongest Pokemon you think you can take in a 1v1? I'm a big dude, but I'm not strong by any means. That's an interesting question. Who would it be? It would probably be like a Machop. It would probably be like he's known for being a strong Pokemon, but he's the base evolution. He's the basic evolution. No way I'm taking him a champ. Too many fists, too much bicep going on there. Too many biceps. Machoke looks pretty strong too, but Machop is like a little child. So I could probably take him. There's probably a stronger one that I'm not thinking of that I could take, but I don't think I could take a Machoke. He's more like an adolescent. He's like a teenage equivalent. He'd probably wreck me. I'm an old man. Oh, Farrell says Diglett. I think I could beat up an... I don't know if it's Audino. This is one of those Pokemon that I've said in my head a million times. I don't know that I've ever heard anyone say it, and I've probably never said it out loud. Audino or Audino. I think it's Audino, or maybe a Furret. Yeah, maybe like a Squovat or a Rattata. Machop is no joke. Or Audino, just wanted to help out. I just said Audino there, but I think I say Audino most times in my head. Audino. It would have to be a normal type. Any other Pokemon would destroy you. Like a ground type wouldn't destroy me. Machop would try to seismic toss me, but I just I think I could take him. Definitely couldn't take a Hitmonchan or a Hitmonlee. They're way too strong and skilled. I'm mostly thinking Gen 1 because I'm a Gen 1 guy, but maybe when we're going through the consignment thing, I'll think of someone. I'm gonna try to get caught up on chat and then go through these reverse holo expedition consignment cards. Question, not tax advice. Do you expense out a PSA sub as a lump or divide by amount of slabs and add to cost of goods sold? So this is not tax advice. What I do is I have a spreadsheet that I track, and on that spreadsheet, one thing might be PSA grading fees. Another thing would be CGC grading fees. And I've had conversations back and forth with my accountant. I don't know where he puts every number, but I pre-fill. It's a big spreadsheet. It's got all the expenses, office supplies, it's got gas mileage, it's got everything. I don't know what boxes he puts them into. So he does the second half of that question, he does that. He knows what I spend through wholesale distribution, he knows what I spend through eBay, secondhand lots, he knows what my inventory is today. But yeah, that's one of those questions that what I do is what I do. It's not guaranteed to be right for you. And I don't even fully know what I do. I hand it to my CPA and he makes the magic happen. And then I pay a bunch of money to the IRS, however much he tells me. Um, Galaxy hops are the most expensive hop. That's what the real juice bombs are made with. I think Galaxy hops, that's definitely in one of the Saranac beers that I enjoy, but I can't think of which one because I have a terrible memory. But yeah, that's definitely something I'm familiar with. Maybe yeah, if they're in yeah hazy IPAs as Schrodinger mentions. A lot of hazy like unfiltered IPAs are largely what I go to. Between the Rope says I'd consider an operational expense and not attached to specific cards as a lump sum over indirect cost. Maybe that's what they do. My accountant does whatever they do. Let your accountant decide. Give those numbers to them. One thing I don't do, and I can confidently say that, I don't have a spreadsheet that details a line item for every single card I own. I think some people do that early on. It's tempting to do to know how much you make here. I did for a short time. But quickly, you have many, many thousands of cards, and you get into selling out part of a collection, breaking down a box, selling parts as packs, selling parts as singles. You can't reasonably track every item line by line. Would you recommend a good cordless vacuum for the car? So we have Craftsman. I have like a 19.2 volt kit and it's dated. It's like an 8-year-old kit. I don't know how the batteries are still working as well as they do. But I have a circular saw. I have a grinder. I have a tire inflator. I have multiple flashlights, drills, impact guns. I have like a kit of everything that Craftsman sells for 19.2 volts. My weed eater is actually a cordless Craftsman, and same thing. I have a cordless Craftsman vacuum. So that's what I use personally. That's my vacuum recommendation. And I mentioned I use Craftsman. Robert uses Milwaukee. So there you go. Um, Good compact size. Winter coming. I want to get ahead of salt before it builds up on the floor mats. uh, yeah, my Craftsman one is pretty reasonable. Sounds like Robert's a pretty good one too. One thing I kind of want to do eventually, like I actually have a kegerator. I used to host pre-COVID, pre-kids. I used to host a couple parties every year. Just a lot of family and friends coming over, hanging out. I'd get a keg or I'd get a couple. Like my kegerator will fit one half keg. It has two taps on it. It'll fit either one half keg or it'll fit three up to three six kegs. I can turn it into a mini fridge too. Just put the shelves in there if I don't have kegs for 30 racks or whatever. So someday I kind of want to like try brewing my own beer. That's like I don't have enough time for that hobby in my life right now, but someday I want to do that. And my kegerator gives me the full range of any temperatures I want to do as far as for like aging it, fermenting it, all that good stuff. Some of them you need to do different temperatures, so yeah, that's a long-term hobby that I would like to have someday, but don't yet. That's crazy. $1,200 for a pounder, 16 ouncer. That's crazy. Sounds like I got an underdog brew story brewing. Yeah, Vandy going up against the big fancy YouTuber, Old Skool Pokemon and Echo Base Collectible. Brad, Better late than never. Ancient Mew, nice to see you here as well. Talking about me fighting Machop. Machop is no joke. I think I could take him though. I think I don't have one of his cards handy, or maybe I do. Is Machop an Expedition? It is alphabetical, so I'm gonna look quick. I'm gonna get his stats. Okay, so Machop is an Expedition. Expedition doesn't say their height and weight. So base set. Let me look up Machop base set. I want to see what Machop's stats are. So Machop is 43 pounds. And he's 2'7". Okay, I'm taking on Machop. Let me check Machoke. I might take Machoke now. Machop is like a baby, and Machoke is maybe like a child or a toddler. Let's see what Machoke is. Okay, Machoke is 4'11" and 155 pounds. I'm 6'4" and 250 pounds. I revise. I'm taking Machoke. He looks strong, but not even his own fault. I just have him by sheer mass. Let me look up Machamp. There's no way. Even if he's lighter than me, he's just got too many hands. But yeah, Machamp is, let's see, 287 pounds. So Machamp is 5'3", 287 pounds. I'd have him on reach by a bit, but he's got me on weight, and he's got twice the arms. Machamp is wrecking me. I can take Machop and Machoke simultaneously though. I revise. I can take them together. So Wilt Chamberlain can take a Togepi. Machop will break my shins. Machop would smoke me. No, he's tiny. He's tiny. Mr. Walrus says I'd struggle with a Metapod. Forget Machop. Thanks, Mr. Walrus. Appreciate that. Oh god. You know why they didn't do any e-reader in Celebrations? I have no idea. Complete guess, but maybe there's some kind of like proprietary. Maybe WotC owned the whole e-reader thing. Maybe legally they can't put that technology on a card. That's a complete guess, but that's just a complete stab in the dark. Because yeah, we didn't see crystal cards. We didn't see any of that style. Peakdatch, you could take a Rayquaza. There's another one, Rayquaza. Yeah, you're gonna break your knuckles if you punch a hardened Metapod. Let me try to get caught up. I mentioned it already, but I'm gonna try to get caught up on chat and then show this consignment. Poking fun again. I split, like, maybe I'll show my spreadsheet template that I give to my accountant. I won't ever show my full taxes or anything like that, but it's broken out. Cash, crypto, it's broken out by platform. So eBay, Heritage, Golden, all those things. Like, there's, I don't know what they do individually with all these numbers, but here's a spot for how much cash I spend and how much cash I take in. Here's a spot for how much crypto I spend and I take in, because I buy some things in crypto too. Here's how much I sold through eBay. Here's how much I bought through eBay. Credit card versus ACHs. It's all there. It's all summarized for my accountant, and they make the magic happen. They do all. I do not put one number on one tax form. I put it in a spreadsheet that my accountant provided to me. It was a generic thing. He does. I'm sure he has clients who are pizzerias. I'm sure he has clients who are, they own credit, or they like anything. Some W-2 employees, some 1099s, all different kinds of things. It was fairly generic, and some of it didn't apply to me. So we deleted off what didn't apply to me. We added in things that apply to me that don't apply to most people. And yeah, we have a unique spreadsheet that works for me and them. I put all my stuff in there. They might ask some follow-up questions. I answer them. I provide more information. But as far as like, how do I expense? That's not on me. That's on my accountant. Not a question, but thank you for reigniting my love for this hobby. Thanks for that message. I really like when I get messages, comments, Instagram DMs, whatever, of people just saying that they enjoy watching the content, and it Not too much monetarily directly coming from this channel, but a lot of like fulfillment. Hearing those kinds of kind words and um yeah, Pokemon. Oh yeah, I should say that. I think as far as formally announced, I've announced that I was taking Pokemon only. Let this be my formal announcement that I am taking Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic. It's got to be PSA, CGC, or BGS graded. But I will branch out. I haven't been hit up with like sports cards yet. I would just ask that, like, again, I don't want to become a vault. If you have something that meets the minimum $100 per item, the minimum $250 average, and it's reasonably going to sell if we price it low list on eBay, send it. As long as it's graded too. No sealed, no packs, no nothing like that, just graded. Sell that Pika trophy, you would have all kinds of money for extra time. It's for sale like everything else. So one of these days it might end up selling. We'll see. I did turn down 90K from Rusty, but we'll see what happens. Buy the beer and focus on the brisket. That, yeah, big pastime for me too. I'm a big dude. I love to eat. Gotta fuel this body. Love grilling and smoking. Usually my dad actually custom built a handful of smokers, so I've perfected a barbecue sauce over the past several years. I started with like 4 or 5 different recipes that were rated really high online and sounded good, and I took what I liked from each and I Frankensteined them into my own recipe. Really happy with my homemade barbecue sauce recipe as it stands today. And I have some really good barbecue chicken recipes and love doing briskets, pulled pork butts. I've done like whole hogs, whole pigs for graduation parties, different things like that. Someday I might own like a concession trailer, food truck type thing. We'll see. Yeah, Machoka is strong, but I could beat people who are stronger than me just on the fact that like I'm so much bigger. It's not gonna make me like someone who's MMA 150 pounds. Maybe Machoka still would beat me, but we'll I don't know. We'll never find out. But yeah, it's hard to say. Um, yeah, everyone looks like there's most people agreeing that I would get wrecked by Machoke, so that's fair. That's fair. I'll concede. Um. Oh, so here's Machop's Pokédex entry. Machop have muscles that never tire no matter how much they exercise. Machop have enough strength to throw 100 average size adults. So Machop can throw like 15,000 pounds. That's pretty excessive. Fight the Magikarp on land and call it a day. There we go. Mr. Walrus has got the idea. Do you think that they reprinted Celebrations, or is it a Walmart restock or repack with excess stock? I'm not sure. It could be a restock, but I did see that I saw that many thousands of these Charizard collection boxes were being sent to like Walmarts, different Walmarts, so different Walmart distribution centers. So I'm assuming Celebrations would have gone down because of the reprints. That whole rumor went out that Champion's Path was being reprinted, and then the ETB went down by like 10%. I think it wasn't being reprinted. I think it was a small restock. Mason Cardinal Gaming, I saw him in chat earlier. He had a really good video recently going over the video that came out from Millennium Print Group, I believe it was, showing the warehouse at the end. Warehouse with like double stacked hundreds, if not thousands of pallets. For them to every so often misplace a pallet or even a truckload of pallets, very feasible, very reasonable after seeing that video. So yeah. Oh, Thoughts on reverse hollow trainers from Legendary Collection? Pop seems pretty low. I picked up a couple of PSA 9s the other day fairly cheap, and I'm looking for validation. So bias alert, I am selling PSA 9s on consignment. I think they're much better than a lot of other things for the same price. That's really all I'm going to say. I do have some in my eBay store on consignment for various consigners. I don't personally dig the firework design that much. I know years ago, I have the same take I did several years ago. Years ago, like a lot of people didn't like them, and I was the same way. Now a lot of people like them because the prices went up. I'm in the same spot though. Like just because they're worth more, I still don't personally like them that much. But I think it's great that people do, and they're worth a decent amount. But yeah, they're better than some things, worse than others. Looking for validation. You had not the worst purchase I've ever heard of, and not the best either. So somewhere in the middle. Did you write off your new vehicle expense as part of your business? That's what I paid for the car, what miles are personal, what miles are business. All those things will be going to my accountant. How they depreciate it, how they write it off, whatever they do with that, I don't know. They're going to get the purchase price, the miles business, miles personal, and all that. And that's, yeah, again, that's what they are paid to do. That's what they do. Coming from an exhausted CPA right now, track all your crap. Absolutely. I said I could beat up a machine. I'm a choke. Old Skool Pokemon in the chat. The Celebrations boxes come with updated packs, but the Celebrations packs themselves have the old code cards. Interesting. So it must be like a back stock of Celebrations packs they have that they just never put in the product. That was probably their intent all along. If they're putting the same packs in the same promo boxes, like they probably printed back then packs, promos, and just waited to get like more diversity in the product. They probably waited to issue them further a year later. Issue them a year later with the newest sets. Like that sounds reasonable to me. The other packs in the boxes are Fusion Strike and Evolving Skies. Celebrations packs still have the old code cards. Excess Celebrations being repacked. Yeah, maybe they printed X amount. Like they probably put more than 50% at release because that's how a product works. At release, everyone wants it. It's hype, whatever. But maybe they had earmarked 10%, 25%, whatever the number is. Maybe they earmarked that. Let's put these out future in repackaged boxes with the newest sets to yeah. I mean, that sounds reasonable to me. That could be what it was. So I'm fully caught up. Let me show the consignment now. I might break this up into a few things, but maybe we'll just go through it really quickly. Complete aside from like the last 6 cards in the set, reverse hollow expedition set, as well as a few other things. Why don't I show first? Let me show first the non-expedition set. We got a couple box toppers. We got a PSA 9 Aquapolis Espeon box topper. We got a PSA 9 Scissor Aquapolis box topper. These are not yet listed. They're not yet photographed even. I literally received these yesterday, but a lot of good stuff. PSA 9 EX Dragon Charizard. We got some Japanese stuff. We got a Level X PSA 9. Charmeleon Charizard. Another Charmeleon. And then some PSA 10 Japanese Shinings. Out of order here clearly. But oh yeah, let me hit on this one because that's another thing I've actively been working on. Homemade buffalo sauce is also a game changer, a bit behind. So I don't know if this is a regional thing, but around me, pizza and wings are huge. The pizza where I live is the best pizza. New York City has good pizza. We have New York City style pizza where I live. Not everyone makes it that way, but there's a few places that close to me that do it really well. Chicken wings, though. I'm like 3 hours from Buffalo. That was where they were like, obviously they weren't invented, but that's where they like became popularized, became a thing. I'm pretty close to Buffalo. But around me, we do what's called an everything sauce. Like every bar, every pizza place, they have their own take on everything sauce. Most of them is like a buffalo sauce, like a hot sauce mixed with blue cheese. Some of them put in a barbecue sauce as well. Some of them are more hot barbecue. Some are more hot garlic, maybe a little bit of blue cheese. But I'm working on perfecting my own everything sauce. Primarily hot sauce, butter, blue cheese, decent bit of garlic, and then some special secret ingredients. So good. It's not as fully refined and defined as my barbecue sauce is yet, because I haven't been working on it as long. But yeah, homemade wing sauce, buffalo sauce is that's something on my radar as well. So let me work through these. Mostly PSA 9s, handful of PSA 10s, some big banger PSA 10s as well. These all will be on eBay. I don't know. I mean, there's a PSA 10 reverse Expedition Charizard. I don't know that I'll get them back or get them on eBay by Friday. That's my goal. I'm going to try to do photos tonight. I'm going to try to get some listed tomorrow morning. I do have Poke Flips tomorrow afternoon with Nick. Shout out Old Skool Pokemon. There's a Gengar PSA 10 reverse. Pricing is all established. So if you want to reach out to me, if you want to get 10% off what I would list them for on eBay, feel free to reach out. Prices are firm. So I've priced all these out. PSA 10 Ninetales. It's got damage, Nick. It's not a no damage Ninetales, but it's a PSA 10 Ninetales. So prices are firm. If you want to hit me up, I'll tell you what I'm pricing these at. And pricing is firm, minus 10% if you want to go through PayPal directly, because these are not yet listed on eBay and because you're seeing them here. I can do 10% below the eBay list price, but I owe what I'm listing the cards at, I owe that minus 20% to the consigner. So like there's no wiggle room. Random 6 in there. You've always got the 6 tax from something with a corner ding. I'm going to get behind on chat here, but yeah, Alakazam PSA 10. So many 9s and 10s. Blastoise PSA 10. He graded these, as you can see, almost all sequential. There's another Charizard PSA 10. And then the next card is actually another Charizard PSA 10. So there's 3 Charizards in Expedition Reverse Holo. And he hit 10s on all of them. My consigner graded these himself and just did amazing. What a beautiful Expedition Reverse Holo set that he had. Okay, so Robert actually just hit one of my secret ingredients. Absolutely. So I actually use, because I love salt. I mean, salty chicken wings go really well. Salty, spicy, garlicky. So I use celery salt, which is just ground celery seed mixed with salt. But yeah, celery salt is one of the secret ingredients in my not so secret anymore. But so good to kick up like a wing sauce. I'm working on a few different like chicken rubs as well. My wife has actually contributed made some different chicken rub recipes we've tried. I think she's made the best one we've done yet. We have that written down somewhere, but it needs to be refined over time. Celery salt is always a component of the good ones for chicken, at least. More 10s, Quilava and Wartortle. Got a Bulbasaur 10. Always good to see the starters in PSA 10. We got a Charmander 9 in the 10. Again, if Expedition's your thing, and if any of these stand out to you, feel free to hit me up. I can do 10% cheaper than these will be listed on eBay. No more room than that. Even if you take multiple, I can't really do better than that because they are consignments. If and when, like a month or 2 from now, maybe a few months from now, these are still listed, if these are still around. Here's a big one. Boom. Pikachu, Reverse Holo, PSA 10. If and when these are around in a few months, I can go back to the consigner and I can say, hey, these things are a little stale, not moving. But I'm not going to ask the consigner to go down significantly day one. I mean, these literally haven't had a chance on eBay yet. I think a lot of these will sell. Like I was able to sell many Reverse Holo Legendary Collection cards well over last sold. I don't price match I don't price match auctions. I've talked about it before, but I think buy it nows are the way to sell most items most of the time. So yeah, these are going to be buy it now price, lowest on eBay, but they're not necessarily going to match last auction. They're not going to match last sold. That's just the way that I go. Let's get caught back up. That was, yeah, that was the entire consignment. Let me get caught back up. Thanks for stopping in. Old Skool's coming back to Whatnot for at least one stream. I'll definitely link it in my socials. I obviously have a vested interest. They'll be my cards. Nick is selling on consignment for me, so I'll absolutely be pumping that when it's time. How was your trade night, Old Skool? Trade night went well. Got to post some pictures on IG. Hopefully a video. Hopefully you maybe not like maybe you didn't record a full video of the actual event, but like get a video on just conversation. 10-minute video. How'd it go? Talk about it. Maybe show a couple pictures there. Yeah, the stream is definitely going to be after Denver. Denver's coming up super quick. Is everything sauce just wasn't what doesn't sell throughout the week? So yeah, every leftover sauce that's in your fridge, every expired sauce you can find in your fridge, all the salad dressings, all the A1 sauce, all the Worcestershire sauce, just throw it all together, and that's what everything sauce is. Yeah. What are some decent vendor display cases vending at my kid's school for the first time in a couple weeks? I've heard of some people using like Jersey shadow boxes. I've heard that works well for some people. Enzoni makes some pretty good displays on eBay. I've bought before for like showing them off on your wall. They'd probably work fine for like a display case on a table as well. All things considered, what's the absolute lowest you could go on the Charizard? 10% less than the eBay list price, of which I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm gonna run really quickly. I'm gonna rerun the consignment. So this is just gonna be a loop. First, it's gonna show the Echo-based collectibles consignment. Then it will pause, and then it will show the Old Skool Pokemon, and then it will pause, and it will show the Vandy. I will be right back. So I wanted to grab quickly. The I almost forgot. This is I do have one more live stream next week where I'll show it more in depth and I'll have the full pricing. But I want to just show a little bit of what I'm gonna be selling in Denver. Just like a little representative sample. So I went and I'm gonna let this finish and then I'll show an example of some of the packs that I have. And then I'll catch up on chat again. I do have some light packs in here next to the heavy ones, so I need to make sure I keep those well separated. I guess I won't pull them out because I don't want to mix things up. I do have a little sticky note though that I had all the prices on for Charlotte. So I'll show that just to talk about and show what I have. So that was I think that was just the first, or was that the second one? That was the first one. So that first lot that was just shown was what Echo Base Collectibles will be auctioning off for me on his whatnot. This one right now that you're seeing is what Old Skool Pokemon Nick will be auctioning off for me. Reminder for anyone who didn't see it earlier, these are all like heavy played to moderate play cards. These are cards that were declined from Troll and Toad Evo or other various ones that I didn't even send off to Troll and Toad Evo. So most of these would be like, I mean, PSA 1 to PSA 7, maybe at best PSA 7 on a lucky one. A lot of them would have dents, some of them would have creases. But yeah, Vandy's in here now. So Vandy didn't get to see earlier. The first one was Joe's, this one's Nick's, and the next one is Vandy's. But yeah, he's got first edition Hollow, Dark Blastoise, and Dark Charizard. He's got Shadowless, Venusaur, and Blastoise. But Vandy, you've got pretty solid stuff too. You saw your own video in the unlisted one, but it will play again too. And once that's done looping, I'll get back to the chat and I'll show the pack prices for what I'll have in Denver. For anyone going to Denver, absolutely can't wait for that. It's a week and a half away. Crazy to think that, actually less than that. I leave a week from tomorrow. I leave a week from tomorrow night, which is nuts to think. Super excited for that. This is Vandy's, so let's see who had the best lot. Let me know in chat who seems to who has the best lot. Blastoise, we got base Charizard. I mean, I feel like they're like I definitely split up the Charizards best I could. I don't think there was like a number divisible by 3, but I think it'll be a pretty fun experiment to see how they go. If they all can provide me back with a CSV, if they all can provide me back with a spreadsheet, I can make a follow-up video. And some of the I think there's at least a handful of cards that are in each of the lots. Obviously, the condition's going to vary slightly, but like I can show, hey, this is what Nick got on X card. This is what, there's no Shadowless Blastoise. But yeah, it'll be cool to see how they compare and who wins. I think there was like a Chinese card in there. Mostly Japanese though. Japanese Neo Suicune, Outbreak, Pikachu promo. Pretty decent stuff. I'm really interested to see how it goes. It's all zero cost basis old stuff. Some Japanese EX era. Pretty nice stuff. Some of the Japanese stuff could be better condition because Troll and Toad actually doesn't take those anymore. So some of those could have gotten declined just for the language, not for being damaged. Okay, we can turn that off now. Yeah, this is what I'm going to have in Denver. These are the pricing on the heavy packs I'll have. So guaranteed hollow. If you open it with me there, you get your money back and you keep the cards that come from it. So I'm gonna have Rocket First Edition, Jungle First Edition, Base Unlimited, Fossil First Edition, and then and then I'm also gonna have Japanese Fossil, which I don't have on the sheet. So let me put Japanese Fossil. I'll have to like type something up or get a price gun or something for Denver, but that's gonna be the spread of what I have. These are going to be the prices at the convention, so these are like goods and services prices. If and when we're hanging out at Swami's, I'm going to have this with me. If you want something at Swami's, that's going to be like the lowest price. That's if you want to open one of these and you're buying from me cash, not like Venmo, not PayPal, like cash. If you want to pay, like those are going to be the best prices. Definitely Swami's house discount for anyone who's there. I absolutely can't wait. If you're gonna open it, if I'm gonna get to see what comes out of it live in person, I'll probably go even cheaper. Some of these I'll definitely be selling pretty cheap, give people good deals if they want to gamble. That said, it's still gonna be gambling. If you buy and open something from me, you're probably gonna lose money. That's just the way it goes. But yeah, I wanted to show that stuff off quick. Just because Denver's not too far away. I am planning, I'm going to go another 35 minutes. I'm going to go right till 4:30, right till quitting time. I don't have anything else to do for today. But yeah, keep leaving questions in chat if you've got any more. and I will try to catch up right now. So Jonna Kyle asks, could you elaborate more on why you don't look at last auction as the market price for the card? So I'm not saying, when I list the card, I'm not saying anything about market price. When I list this card, the two main things I look at, what's the lowest on eBay? I'm going to go lower. What's the last sale, auction or buy it now? So say, like, let me actually pull up my spreadsheet just so we can do like an actual, so we're not theoretical. So on this Alakazam, when I went to price it, I won't share it because this spreadsheet, it's not like curated to show. It has personal information in it. So this Alakazam, like a week or 2 weeks ago, when I looked at it, the lowest list was $199, and the last sold was $150. So a lot of people would say market price is $150. I would say if you want $150, you can't pay that today. Someone has one for $200. Maybe they'll match $150. I'm not going to. So I'm pricing this at $180. If you want this, if you want it because you're seeing this on YouTube, if you want to take it for 10% off that through PayPal, we can do that. But I'm going to price this at $180 to be the lowest list on eBay by 10%. And if someone decides that they have $180 and they want to trade that for the Alakazam, we'll trade it. If not, that's fine too. I am making no declaration as to what market price is. I actually have a video earlier on my channel. Market price is not a thing. At the end of the day, it's all what a seller and buyer are willing to agree to make a transaction happen. But market price is not a thing. Last sold is $150. That's a data point. Before that, I don't know what the sale before that was, but low list is $200. That's a data point as well. Using those two, I came up with $180. To me, that seems reasonable. That seems fair. Another example, the Ampharos right after it, low list is $140. Last sold is $73. If I had to guess, that last sold is an auction. I'm pricing at $120. Quite a ways over the $73, but historically speaking, I make those sales. So like, let me scroll up and let me look at Reverse Hollow Legendary Collection. So I listed a Zapdos. The low list was 3,000, PSA 9, PSA 10, Reverse Hollow Legendary Collection. Last sold were anywhere between 1,000 and 1,600. I listed for 2,000. I listed for double what one of the recent sales was, and it sold. I was the lowest on the market by $1,000. Nick actually sold one after I sold mine for 2,000. Nick sold one for 1,500. My data point didn't show up in the eBay sales history because I use out of stock feature. The only way he would have seen it is if he went to Terapeak. But 130 point doesn't get it. Pokemon Price doesn't get it. Pokedata. But yeah, that's I offer things. I have this item. If you have this much money and want to trade, let's do it. If not, no worries. I don't define the market. The market is just the sum of all its participants and the sum of all the data points. So yeah, that's my quick conversation around that. I did make a video though, if you want to hear me talk 20 minutes about the same topic. Fermented mild chilies. That sounds tasty. How do you feel Silver Tempest is going to be with what's been revealed thus far? I don't really look at spoilers too much. I see them because they go in the Discords that I'm in, or they go wherever YouTube channel that I'm watching. But I don't know. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be cool. Kind of like I think most sets are. Not too exciting of a take there. But that's where I'm at. Mention how you like his YouTube. He'll go cheaper for sure. Let's see. Bussin'. Those box toppers were cool and will do well, but overall, pretty good job splitting. Are you going to grade the lights from those boxes? How have your graded packs been selling? I don't know what it was. Some big YouTuber must have shown or mentioned graded packs over last weekend. I sold like 8 graded booster packs, vintage ones, after not selling many for like a couple weeks. They sell sporadically, but same thing. I price above recent sold. People who auction graded packs, surprising to me. I don't know why people do. Some of them get really beat up. I've seen PSA 10. So packs have this weird thing where The old style are folded. Terrible presentation. They look bad. They're damaged. Um, New style look better. But I see people auctioning new style and getting like light prices. They're getting light or unweighed pack prices for a PSA 10. Like I see people. I think I recently sold PSA 10 auction or PSA 10 jungle first edition booster packs for like 580 each. I've seen auctions of the same one, same art, go for like 300 something. And maybe maybe it was Fossil, maybe not, or maybe it was Rocket. One of those though, like I'm selling them for double what recent auctions have gone for. That's just, and they sell sporadically, slow overall, niche items. All of this is niche, all of this is illiquid, but packs are even more so, is what I'll say. Good margin when they sell. Selling a pack, say I buy a box for 10K, that's 300 a pack. I sell the heavies for 500 to 600 a piece. I grade and sell the lights. When you get like a PSA 8 pack, which you're going to, you sell that as a loss. When you get a 9, you sell that at like slight loss or break even. And the 10s you make the money on, and the heavies. So Kai says, why didn't you become a civil engineer? Arguably the cooler engineer. Asking for a friend. Cheers. So I became the coolest engineer, a chemical engineer, because it had the least overlap with any other engineering discipline, I think. Like if you, like where I went to college, if you wanted to go into engineering, you could basically do the first 3 years without picking your final. Like you could be aeronautical, mechanical, civil, you could be medical, biomedical. You could be a lot of those. And then in your senior year, round it out because they had the same core. Whereas chemical engineering, you needed to know before your junior year because so much of it was like the most different from the other engineering disciplines, at least at the school that I went with, curriculum wise. And chemistry and math were always my favorite topics. So civil, you probably got a little bit of chemical type stuff going in there, like geology type things. But chemical was it for me. And I'd say objectively the coolest engineer. Are you going to reach into sitting plushies as investments? Very, very bad investments because I take the tags off, I open them, I don't preserve the condition. Got accountants in the chat. Sup, Dan? Looking forward to meeting you in Denver next week. Can't wait for a fun weekend of meeting people in the community and cracking packs together. What the hobby's all about. Absolutely. I'm very, very excited for Denver. It's really cool to take the screen away, to not have to look and talk to the camera through the microphone, just to meet people in person. And lots of beverages will be consumed, I'm sure. Lots of packs will be cracked. I'm sure it'll be a great time. Yeah, a little over a week away. It's crazy. My wife is out of work today because she's sick. My son has been out of school for the past week because he's sick. My daughter's too young for school, but she has a cough. Everyone needs to get better. When I was a child, getting into my childhood, and I was a very sickly child. My average missed days of school per year from like K to 12 was probably 8 to 10. There was one year, like academically, I was always doing really well. There was one year where they were talking about holding me back because I missed like 20 days or something. It made no sense because I did all my work, I caught up on everything, but they're like, he just missed, there's 180 days of school, and he missed over 10% of it. He missed 20 days or whatever. And I didn't end up getting held back, thankfully. But yeah, I was very sickly as a child. These days, thankfully, I haven't gotten sick too frequently. It's a pretty rare occurrence, but maybe I made up for like I did a lifetime's worth of flus and colds and all that in my childhood, hopefully. So hopefully I don't catch what my wife had caught from my kids and on down the line and then have that for Denver next week. But only 8 to 10 days, rookie numbers. Yeah, I had a lot of friends who would get like every year perfect attendance, no absences, whatever. My body was recovering from being too tall. I've said it before, but yeah, I wasn't too tall. I wasn't very tall at all back in school. I was like average height, and then after graduation, I graduated at 17. I actually graduated fairly young. I graduated college at like 21 and 2 months old, or 21 and 1 month old. Um, but yeah, throughout most of middle school and high school, I wasn't tall at all, just average height. I've not talked about rare candy. I can soon though. I guess I'll talk about it now since I have that one highlighted, and then I'll touch on the others. But rare candy, I don't know. I talked with rare candy a couple times. Maybe someone still listens to my content from them. I know that some did or do. They reached out to me a couple times. They planned on taking some of my eBay inventory, not a substantial amount, but a few dozen cards maybe. I don't fully know if they were going to auction them or do mystery boxes with them or sell them as buy it nows, but they were supposed to send me some paperwork for me to sign for them to take on consignment some of my items. I never got it. I don't know what happened there, but there was kind of like a communication breakdown, and it is what it is. They did like I saw they did a $250 mystery box, and I saw a video of one being opened, and I think they were numbered to 10,000. If those numbers are right, they did 2.5 million gross worth of mystery boxes. I don't know how the math works out. I don't know what value they put in, but like, say they put in $200 average value, say they were profiting approximately 20%, which maybe it was more than that, but that would be $2 million worth of product that they factored into those mystery boxes. And a lot of times those can have inflated valuations. Like, I don't know what they put into them exactly, but either way, that's a lot of inventory that they moved in one go with those boxes. Um, but I'm not like in their Discord. I'm not keeping up too closely with it. I just had a couple Zoom calls with them. Who are you looking most forward to meeting? That's a dangerous question because I don't want anybody to feel left out. Everybody. Let me just cover it with everybody. I've not yet met some of the people that I've talked to the most, even live on YouTube in various chats. I'm going to Swami's house Friday and Saturday night. I think we're hanging out there. So Swami's definitely one of them. He's one that I was on his channel a while back when he was making more content, doing some of his like the top spec game show. I was actually on that with Nick. I see Basic in the chat. I haven't met him yet. So many people I'm gonna forget to say, but I saw Nick Retrospecs in here earlier. Mason, Barry, Cardinal Gaming. Putting me on the spot. Yeah, there's so many. The old card shop is going. The Green Shiz, tons of people are going. Pretty much everybody. I'm actually in a Discord where we're like arranging what to do, how we're going to what we're gonna do there. Oh yeah, Rock Pokemon, Red or Blue, Peak Dat Chew. I mean, some amount of people I've already met before. Obviously, Nick, Zach, Ray. There's a lot of cool people I've already met as well, but a lot of cool people I'm going to be meeting for the first time. Add on everyone else that I missed. Let me get back to the chat. Perfect attendance is for overachievers. I agree. I'm assuming there will be a lot of vlog style content. I think Java Akuma has talked about it. I did meet him. He's one of the people I didn't list because I've already met him. He had like one of those cameras you wear, not like a, what do they call it? Not a what's that camera you strap on your helmet? I can't even think of it. Not one of those necessarily, but like one you wear on your chest. Part of, yeah. But he had a camera that he wore at Charlotte, and he made a wrap-up video for that. So go check out Java Akuma's channel if you want to see his Charlotte wrap-up video. I think he's gonna wear that again, do that again for Denver, and I'm sure multiple other people will. I'm just not a good person for that. One, my phone is like 2 or 3 years old. not the latest and greatest technology as far as best resolution and all that. I live in the moment. If I'm pulling this out to like video everything and take pictures, and I'm not going to be having as good of a time. Like it detracts from, it takes me out of the experience. So I'm just going to be doing my own thing. I will, one or two things I plan to record there. I'm going to open a Rudy 6.9 year anniversary box. That will be recorded. And I might open like one of my rocket packs or one of my various heavy packs, and I'll have that recorded if so. But I'm not gonna do vlog style personally. I think Josh, the Green Shiz, was talking about doing some too. So I'm sure some people will put together some amazing content. It's just likely not gonna be me. Basic studying for the MetaZoo finals next weekend in Denver. Seance pre-orders actually did open today. The way that I operate, both Pokemon and MetaZoo, I don't do pre-orders. I don't like to sell a product until I have it in hand and I know exactly how much I have when I have it, and then I start selling it for whatever the market price is. So yeah, I'm not doing any MetaZoo Seance, but shout out to all the other MetaZoo partners. MetaZoo has posted publicly who some of those people are, what some of those accounts are to follow. So not through me, but go check out various MetaZoo partners who've officially launched their pre-orders today for Seance. I'll have mine in a couple weeks when the set officially releases. The day before release, I'll do same as last time, same as I did for UFO. I'll do a stream where you can buy a box, buy blister packs, buy spell books, whatever you want to buy for retail. Will be map pricing, and I'll open them and ship them to you, same as last time. Did Cool Trainer Ryan make a video? I haven't seen that yet. I don't watch a lot of like modern openings, and his content is more along those lines. But I've watched some of his content here and there. Oh yeah, that's another one I'll be meeting. PK, Poke Knowledge, I'll be meeting in Denver for the first time. Are there any OP MetaZoo cards from Nightfall? I don't know on the player side. You'll have to ask Basic, and he probably already answered. Oh, plenty. There you go. Ernesto said he's not going to Denver if Card Chop's going. Ernesto is another one of the guys who I didn't mention. Looking forward to meet because I've already met him. GoPro. Yeah, GoPro is what I was looking for. I think Java Akumo will have one of those outfitted to himself somehow for doing a vlog style thing, and possibly the Green Shiz as well. Any one or two cards that people build decks around. Nightfall is by far my favorite set. I gotta learn the rules. ZNG is live. Bye, losers. I'm gonna be rapping in the next 10 or 15 minutes. Maybe I'll just rap sooner rather than later. Maybe we'll raid. Let me get his stream pulled up just so we can raid him. That's what we'll do. We'll wrap in the next 2 to 5 minutes. I'm gonna answer this question that just came in. He started 50 minutes ago. So it's not like he just started. But he's gonna be going for a while, I'm sure. Let's see who's in his chat that's watching him instead of me. I see Swami and the old card shop over there. And they never came in and said hi over here. That's maybe I'm not too excited to meet them both in Denver. But yeah, let me catch up and then we'll raid ZNG. He had some IG stories about the one that got opened on our channel. Wasn't a fan. Skater Nesto, check your DMs. You're ignoring Kai's messages. Please answer Kai. Do you think a shrinking of the overall Pokemon market would affect vintage or modern more? Oof, that's tough. I think it would affect both relatively equally. It's hard to say, but yeah, I think both of them. I mean, modern is a way bigger market by market cap. 9.1 billion cards were printed and absorbed into the market. Crazy, mind-blowing how big the ultra modern market is. But yeah, it's gonna affect the worst stuff the most. So there's bad stuff in both modern and vintage. Bad from a perspective of overpriced, overvalued. So it's going to affect the overvalued stuff the worst, the undervalued stuff the least. I think generally speaking, there's more overvalued stuff in modern probably, especially if they print way too much and then the market shrinks and there's just like a glut of boxes. We could see $79, $70 boxes again, like we did with the Crimson Innovation and all that. So yeah, with that, that's all I had for today. I'm going to wrap up 15 minutes earlier than intended because I'm caught up with chat. It seems that I'm bleeding viewers over to ZNG Emporium. We are still beating him. He's 50 minutes in. I'm an hour and 50 minutes in. We've got 62. He's got 48. So for the last 15 minutes of my workday, I'm going to hop over to James's stream. I hope you all join me over there. Let James and Cam know that I sent you. And let them know that I've got the better consignment service too, just so we can see how they react to that. So yeah, I will catch you guys over in ZNG Emporium live stream.